Rachel ran and held me in her arms like a guardian angel. So it was a horrible moment, but it was also like this bizarre fever dream of like, Rachel Weisz came and held me in her arms so I fell on my face. When we were at the Beekman and Genevieve and Beverly are sort of connecting and getting to know each other a little bit more, that one was so beautiful. Very romantic.
I think it has to be the like 3 days we did the dinner scene.
Yeah.
It was
Like
really fun.
Watching a play. There's moments where like I don't speak for an expanded period of time, and yet I could kind of discover all these things of like playing with my food or like having these bizarre moments, and that was actually surprisingly fun.
There's this party scene in the background behind you and Beverly when you're talking. There were all this extraordinary paraphernalia was there, and we were playing a game where we all had names on our heads. None of the drugs were real, or none of the booze was real,
like
and we
being
woke
on
up the
drugs.
next day
Yeah.
with terrible hangovers,
Yeah.
all of us.
I'd love to play Susan. That would be really fun.
Elliot.
I'd maybe pick Rebecca. I really like Rebecca. Yeah, Rebecca would be fun.
I'd love to see you, Rebecca.
We just cut a baby out of a woman's womb. She asked us to. We didn't just like do it. But what I'd like to do now, the very next thing that I would like to do, just after I finish these eggs, is my sister in front of you. She's the funny one.
We were rehearsing a dinner scene that happens later on in the show, and it was just so wonderful seeing everybody come together, and by the end of the day we all knew each other's lines, and I can still recite the whole thing when I watch it. That was definitely a highlight for me.
I don't know if it was my first scene on set ever, but it was definitely the first time that I had a scene with Rachel. They had come home and they were exiting the elevator, and I feel like everyone on Earth probably dreams of the first time they're gonna meet Rachel Weisz. So I was just like, hee 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 hee. That was just really special because I think for a show that's so moody, dark, like psychological, whatever, to have the energy on set be filled with so much levity and joy and playfulness and kindness was like, it's such a nice balance.
So, these bitches give you some money and you open your thing? Okay. Well, you behave. You relax a little. You'll kill it.
We've talked about, but that moment when we realized that we were in this little room about to shoot, we were rehearsing a scene, and there were 4 actors and the cinematographer and an operator and a director and the writer, and we were all there in the room, and we realized we were all
Women.
humans who were female.
Yeah, there
that
was
we
not
were
a
all women.
single man in the room, and we were not talking about men. I loved that. I also
Yes, that's important too,
Yeah.
is that the scene was not about a man either.
men at
'cause
all.
that's-
It was about a woman actually, because a woman threw the blood on Rachel.
Yeah.
But also I had a moment on set where I fell on my face on concrete because I was wearing heels that I didn't know how to walk in, and Rachel ran and held me in her arms like a guardian angel. So it was a horrible moment, but it was also like this bizarre fever dream of like, Rachel Weisz came and held me in her arms so I fell on my face. So it was funny looking back and beautiful and horrible. Impeccable.
Freaky.
Bonkers.
Provocative. I'm similar to Genevieve in a lot of ways. I think I brought a lot of myself to that character. We're different in what we tolerate. I definitely have really hard boundaries around relationships and energy that I allow into my life, and I think Genevieve tries, but that's where we differ for sure.
I think I'm similar to Greta in that we both love the performance of identity. Like pretty literally wakes up every day and is like, I'm gonna look like a totally different version of myself today because I can, and I'm a chameleon. And I think we're very different in that I don't do as freaky of stuff as Greta does. I don't have a serial killer basement.
Well, one of the answers would be much longer than the other for me.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm similar to her in very many ways.
Susan's definitely very different than I am, but I feel like in my life I can almost tap in and out of like the more removed or ditzy part of myself, or like focus in suddenly on being really present and aware and cutting, and I feel like Susan kind of has that weird duality.
I'm gonna be straightforward. I always think that's best. You guys want someone who really gives a about this too.
I give a
But you give a about dolphins and rehabilitating pedophiles and ice cream.
There's nothing else like it. The subject matter that we touch upon, queerness, women's health, are incredibly topical. Always have been, always will be, but in particular right now, it feels very present in all of our lives. It's very exciting to be a part of a project that happily dives into that.
Even for this fact alone, that it portrays so many different versions of people giving birth. I don't think I've ever seen that on TV before. I mean, it's quite graphic. You'll never even see birth that head on, literally. But also the amount of different birthing experience it shows, people's relationships to their body during birth, their relationships to the medical system. I think the racialized aspects of giving birth in this country. I just don't know anything else that exists out there that shows such a wide range of what birth can look like, and done so artistically and inside such a genre-defying psychological thriller. It's very cool.
I mean, talking about female reproduction. I mean, I think that's pretty big right now.
Women's health care.
Yeah, women's health care, and how much of it's about money, how much of it's about morals. Are those morals leading it good, bad, ugly, mostly? Yeah.
How much of it is about the women themselves?
Very little.
As difficult as some of the subject matter is, some sort of a playfulness. I hope that they learn a lot. There's a lot of knowledge in this show, and I hope that they have a great time.
The show feels like taking a drug. It feels like you enter a different dimension and universe and you come back and you're like... So I think they really go along for the ride, and I hope some of the themes stay with them. The dysfunction of it all, and the messiness, and the wide spectrum of human evilness and goodness and desire and destruction and all of that, but also the complexities of what giving birth is like. Hope they come out of it like you come out of a acid trip.
I think we all know that feeling when you find a show that engages you on all levels, and it's so smart and funny and sexy.
I think it strikes a really good balance between talking about really important things while also being a sort of water cooler show that you want to talk about and quote and think about. So I think it's a really beautiful combination that I hope both are taken away.
It's impossible to explain this relationship to anyone outside of it.
We just cut a baby out of a woman's womb. She asked us to. We didn't just do it.
She's the funny one. My sister and I do work that is groundbreaking, but hopeful, radical, but safe.
Sometimes I feel I've got to.
I want to change the way that women birth. It is world-changing.
How does that vomit-inducing idealism translate into dollars?
I do my job to help people. Baby sister, you are so deliciously perfect. Where do you come from? Is capitalism very bad?
Once I ran to
You okay?
Oh, I'm brilliant!
now I run from you.
You want me to grow you a baby out of nothing? Bring it on! Let's do the research. Let's make anything happen.
Are you God? How did you create life where it would not grow?
That is not what we want to be doing, though. But it might be. But it's not. But it could be. But it's not.
What Frankenstein trauma are you up to?
I really like her.
What do you mean? It's none of your business. Everything's my business, not this.
Cannot stand the way you
They're both brilliant. They're both liabilities.
We are extraordinary.
touch me, baby, dangerous.
You're a psychopath. Oh, well, if I'm a psycho, you're a psycho.
We are as close to perfection as you can get. That is just nuts. I love it.
You don't need anyone else. You never have.
You were looking really crazy for a while there. As it turns out, I'm really sane. Isn't that wonderful?